So, what is this, you may be asking? What is this sacrilege? Well, this is an estimate of how many pulls I should have by 2.5 Honkai Star Rails patch. And I wanted to go over this because I was thinking about it, and I wanted to get your guys' opinion as well, right? I don't want to go into this blind, and very likely it'll end up being a thing where I'll probably, most likely, go for Feixiao. Actually, I'm going to put it right here. 80% pull likelihood. %, pull likelihood. Now, this doesn't mean that one is better than the other. This just means I'm more likely to pull earlier than I am to pull later. So option 1, which was the original, actually no, I should probably put option, where is it? Oh yeah, option 3. I'm gonna make it option 3 real quick because this was the very first path that I originally planned on going to, which was save all jades for E2 Acheron. Right now I'm on a guarantee, so I'd instantly get an Acheron, and then I just need to get 2 more copies, whether she reruns in 2.5 or 2.6. If she reruns in 2.6, I'd basically be guaranteed. Now this is technically the best option, since E2 Acheron, and I have a Sparkle. Actually, I should probably, never mind. Basically, I'll tell you guys, I have Sparkle, and that's about the only support that I could actually use for her. So I don't think it's actually worth it for me to go for this anymore, because I simply don't have good enough 5-star nihilities, and I'd also have to skip Zhao Q, which simply isn't good. Or because I'm scared, right? There's a decent possibility that next patch is either a Black Swan or Acheron rerun, right? Because think about it, we got Zhao Q in 2.4, Black Swan is due for a rerun, so that's 2 nihilities that go perfectly with her, meaning she'll either rerun next to Black Swan or in 2.6, I think, right? I think nothing's guaranteed here, so it's either go for E2 Acheron, or short term, which is what I'm most likely gonna do, pull for Feixiao. I don't know if you guys have seen, but leakers have, you know, it's rumored that the leakers believe Feixiao will be Acheron level, right? Keep in mind, they never said that for Boot Hill, and Boot Hill is doing like 300 to 400k on single target bosses, right? Like, that's insane damage, yet they never said he was Acheron level. But they are saying it for Feixiao, who is a hunt. So that's very, very promising. And Ling Sha for my Firefly, so I can run her with sustain. And then I could just put Gallagher on, let's say, Feixiao's team. Since Feixiao will be break oriented, crit break, just like Boot Hill. So Gallagher's break buff would still be useful with Feixiao. Now, option 2, which if I'm being honest, this is the probably most optimal option, but the option that I least want to go down. Basically, we wait for the Black Swan rerun, or whoever gets rerun first, Black Swan or Acheron. So we wait for that rerun, we get Black Swan, then we get Acheron on her rerun. And by the way, I have an E6 Gweniphen, so I can run Acheron, Black Swan, Gweniphen. I don't have an E6 Pela, I only have 1 copy of Pela. So I'm probably still going to use Gweniphen instead, right? And then some sustain. And then get Kafka on her rerun, so that I now have the ability to run an Acheron team and a Dot team. So, boys, the one I'm more pulling towards is this one right here. Because Feixiao, although not the best, should still work to an extent with Sparkle, and she'll probably easily replace my Dill, right? Like, let's be honest, Dill is way far behind Acheron and Firefly in terms of consistent damage. So, and he also eats up significantly more skill points. Like, he's only really, like, good if you have him at E2. Which, obviously, I don't. I only have him at E0. So, I really want to replace him and give my Sparkle to someone better. And hopefully, Feixiao is that someone, since she's crit break, right? I don't have Bronya, by the way. I just don't. And then Ling Sha for the Firefly team, since she's a Fire Abundance, who I believe is going to do break. Or maybe... I don't know if it's weakness efficiency or just break effect buffs. We'll have to see when the leaks actually come out in the next patch during Zhao Q's banner, I think. I think that's around when we get leaks for the next characters. So, I want Ling Sha for my Firefly. Then I want Feixiao to run with my Sparkle so I can have these two teams. Now, this would be the most fun for me, right? Feixiao is a character that I'm most looking forward to right now. And personally, she has my favorite design in the entire game. And Ling Sha would just go... She'd fit right in with the Firefly team. And I'd be able to use my Gallagher on the Feixiao team to give her a break effect buff. Option 2 is meh. You know what I'm saying? The only person I really want here is Acheron, right? But if I go with these two and Acheron doesn't rerun in 2.5... then I'll be able to get her in 2.6. So, I don't really want to do this, right? Because I don't give a shit about Black Swan. I'm just going to be straight up. I don't like her kit or whatever. Technically, her kit is broken, right? She's one of the most broken dot characters in the entire game. I simply just don't care for her character or her animations. So, yeah. Then it's wait and get Acheron rerun, which is fine. Obviously, I like Acheron. And then get Kafka, who I also don't really care about, right? The only reason I even thought of this and came up with this was because I realized, oh wait, this is probably my most optimal option that lets me get an Acheron team, a Dot team, and then on top of that, I also have a Firefly team. So I have 3 different teams that I can use at any given moment, which is pretty nice since the Dot team uses multiple elements, the Acheron team ignores toughest, and the Firefly team just breaks through everything, right? It's a lot of options for me, and it's technically the best way I could go. And then option 3, which was actually technically option 1, so it's kind of tripping me off. But this was my original plan. I made a video on it. My plan to regain my enjoyment of Honkai Star Rail was save all my Jades for E2 Acheron, then run her with a Sparkle and a Gwenaifen, so then I'd have an E2 Acheron team and a Firefly team, which is pretty broken, but I really don't want to skip Feixiao or Ling Sha, and I don't want to wait like 3 patches to wish on someone, right? The problem with E2 Acheron is that, okay, we're getting into leaks now. So if you don't want to hear like actual like pretty big leaks, don't even bother. It's rumored that in 2.7 we will be getting the real Ting Yun, and that is likely to be a real 5-star, right? Like Ting Yun 5-star. So she'll likely be support, let's be honest here, likely. And I'm thinking, what if she ends up being this really broken support for the newer characters and not the Acheron team, right? Because if we really think about it, yes, currently the 2 strongest DPSs are Acheron and, sorry, give me a second. Acheron and Firefly. And then obviously Acheron has more teammates out there that can be used for her. You have Silverwolf, Gwenaifen, Pela, Black Swan. Almost anyone Nihility just works with Acheron, right? So Feixiao isn't going to have that many new best-in-slot teammates. However, this is where the theory crafting comes in. I get the feeling that Ting Yun will end up being a really good break buffer. Like she might be the first person outside of Harmony Trailblazer who supports Super Break, right? And that's why I don't want to go down this route, because I'll end up doing all of this, and by 2.6 I'll have a really solid team, right? I'll have 2 solid teams that I can use, but I'll have less fun with this one, and this one is also more future proof since there's more room in the future to get new best in slot teammates for Feixiao. So Theory Copium, Super Theory Craft, right? I'm thinking Ting Yun might come in 2.7, I believe it was, yeah. Leakers rumored that she'd come around 2.7. And I think she'll be a best in slot support for Feixiao being crit and break oriented. Because when you think about it, right? What support other than Ruan Mei has been break oriented? No one. And even Ruan Mei, half of her kit gets invalidated for break. Her damage bonus just doesn't fucking work for break characters, right? So I'm thinking they do someone similar to Ruan Mei. They get rid of the damage bonus and they make them break oriented. And so now they give super break to either one teammate or all allies or whatever it is, right? Because super break is an untapped market. The only person who can give super break as a support right now is Trailblazer, right? Firefly has some super break in her kit, but she does like a quarter of her normal damage without Harmony Trailblazer supporting her. So now imagine a Firefly team that has 2 super break supports for her, right? Or Feixiao. Now if we get 2 super break supports, we can have one on the Firefly team and one on a Feixiao team. You see where I'm getting at here? So it's becoming a thing where I'm being a bit skeptical and trying to look into the future and trying to, you know, connect the dots with Hoyo and what they're thinking, because that could be the 2 most broken teams in the future. Feixiao and 5-star Ting Yun, and then Firefly team. And it makes me skeptical, right? Like, do I go for Acheron? Do I go for E2 Acheron? Do I listen to this? Because what's most optimal now, or what's the best option now, let's be honest, isn't going to be the best option in the future, right? All these characters will eventually get power crept, and at the end of the day, I think I should just go for who I like the most, which is Feixiao and Ling Sha. Which is why I have it at 80% pull likelihood, right? Not only are they likely more future-proof, but they're newer, and they probably are going to have better animations. In my opinion, Feixiao has the sickest design in the entire game, and it's very, very close with Acheron, right? Acheron is probably my second favorite design in the entire game, easily. She also has my favorite animations in the entire game. However, right now, because of Feixiao's release, she's second for me. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Very quick video. I just don't know what to do, right? The more I think about this, the more wary I get, because there's a lot of options and paths I can go down. But I think in the end, I will end up just going for whatever brings me the most enjoyment and whoever is the most future-proof, which will make me pull on Feixiao and Ling Sha, right? So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Have a good night. Have a good day. Peace.